In this video, we're going to cover some Filipino news. Our visa changes coming. How about annual reporting coming due very soon? Real estate information as well as starting a business information. Hello and welcome to the Philippines. We're here with JR at JRC Visa Consultancy and Immigration Services in Cebu City. And we're going to be covering several topics today. We're going to talk about visas and the required annual report for many of you, real estate, because he's also a real estate broker, and starting a business. They also offer business consulting services. So, JR, turn it over to you.
Hi Rod, how are you? It's good to see you again. And hi to your subscribers. So first things first, we just need to remind your subscribers who are actually been issued with any visas from the Bureau of Immigration. So you need to file your annual report on or before 1st of March. That's in reference with the Bureau of Immigration website. You just you need to comply with that because that's a requirement from the Bureau of Immigration to report in the office on your whereabouts or for you to update your records in the Bureau of Immigration. And also, I bump into this question like, JR, I'm into SRRV. Am I required to do the annual report? No, you are exempted to that because the SRRV is under the category of a special visas in which you are issued with the retirement visa card or the PRA card, that's what they say. So you are exempted to do the annual report if you have or if you are a holder of the special residence retirees visa. So don't forget about the annual report. It's very important. And if you missed it, what will happen? You will be penalized. You need to pay a penalty, roughly around 50 to 60 US dollars. And that would not be a good preposition for you also because that will be on the record of the Bureau of Immigration. So don't wait for the 1st of March. Do your annual report to the as early as you can before that deadline. I know the Bureau of Immigration offices will be swamped with foreigners on that day for the last day catching up. But mind you, a day or two before before the deadline would actually help you a lot. Why? Maybe for the volume of foreigners going and doing the annual report, there might be a tendency that the system will be backed down. Who knows? It's beyond your control. That's something that you need to anticipate. So be there as early as you can. I know you still have time. You still have a few days left, and just do it as early as you can.
Okay. Yeah, and a tourist visa do not have to.
No, they don't. They are not required to do that because they are actually on the temporary visitors visa. However, if you're gonna check on the official receipts during extensions, there are items there that states the annual report. However, the annual report will be applicable to the foreigners who have been issued with permanent residency directly issued from the Bureau of Immigration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first 2 years I was here, I tried to do an annual report, being on a tourist visa.
How was it?
And they told me, you don't have to do it. And I didn't believe them. I came back the next year, tried to do an annual, you don't have to do it.
That's a good experience. First is like, okay, then the second is the validation part.
Anyway, we discussed this earlier. Mm-hmm. There's been some talk online, different channels, mm-hmm. about the possible changes in visa categories. Mm-hmm. And people are thinking, oh, and I get questions, when is this going to happen? Mm-hmm. When is this going to happen? Mm-hmm. And it might not happen even this year,
yeah.
Right? Because it can get drug out in Congress. Mm-hmm. Things can change in Congress as it goes from one house to the other. Mm-hmm. That type of thing. So
yeah, that's something that we, your subscribers or our foreign fans should actually take into consideration, because sometimes you get swamped with informations in YouTube right now. Like information can actually like disseminate in a matter of seconds. However, you need to validate what are you actually trying to buy into it. Like for example, passing a law in the Philippines, as what we have discussed earlier with our attorney, that it will go through a process. Not a quick process, but a long process that needs to be done and needs to be approved with the lower house and the upper house, and also the conferences between the lower house and the upper house. I'm not the right person to discuss that because I'm not a lawyer. However, I'm just actually banking on the statement of our attorney earlier today that he explains briefly on how it will be passed. And just savor the moment. Don't rush things out. Because the Bureau of Immigration Modernization Act is a well-defined what do you call that, update or amendment for the existing Bureau of Immigration laws, which is still around 1940. So for the tourist visa, they have categorized really if you're A1, A2, A3, A4, and then they categorize that for, like, for example, for business and pleasure, you're here for medical reason, for tourism only. So that's being categorized in that manner. However, on the general context, it is still a tourist visa. Nothing has changed significantly. There's no mention of the bill, of the initially approved bill, in terms of changes in terms of the 36 months. They have no mention as far as my knowledge is concerned. And also for the visa restricted national or visa required national, there's no changes yet in the next, for the 24 months maximum allowable stay on tourist visa. So don't hurry up. Savor the moment when you come to the Philippines. Enjoy the paradise. You have 7,000. I hope I get it right. It's 7,100 plus islands. Depends on how high tide or low tide.
Another question I get regularly is my boyfriend or my husband has overstayed X number of years. What can he do? And he's here in the Philippines, never left.
Wow.
And you deal with that occasionally.
Yes, we deal with that.
And maybe you can touch on that briefly.
Okay. Overstaying is a serious situation because it is already a ground for deportation, in which you will be blacklisted if you actually don't lay out or lay down already valid reason for you to be considered, or for you to be reconsidered with your reasons. Now, first thing that you need to do, acknowledge that you have been overstayed, and then we will actually file your motion for reconsideration, citing all what really happened for you. Be as honest as you can. If you are actually challenged financially, then that's okay. And if you don't really have enough money to dual with things, you have also another option to dual or to do the indigency route, meaning you're gonna contact your embassy, and the embassy will be coordinating now to the Bureau of Immigration, which will actually facilitate for you to go back to the country. But on the indigency side, if you're challenged really financially, please take note that arrears will be paid later on. So you need to pay that back to the Philippine government because you owe that. That's coterminous to your stay here. Those are the fees on tourist visa that you need to settle. Because if you don't settle that, you cannot come back to the Philippines. And if you're financially flexible right now to settle that fees, the first step that you need to do is really file the motion for reconsideration. And most of the time, the motion for reconsideration will only be accepted and filed in the Bureau of Immigration office, main office in Manila, in which we do have an office there. So take a step, because I don't want you to be in the situation wherein it will be very risky for you. I know there are a lot of guys, hey, I'm okay, I'm here already for 10 years and nothing happened. Who knows?
Sooner or later, you're going to get caught. Yeah.
I hope not.
Something's going to happen.
But eventually, we would highly recommend them to settle that as soon as they can, so that they will have legal stay and they will have a peace of mind once on their stay here in the Philippines. Of course, we want them to be on that situation, to be legally and peacefully living here in the Philippines.
And your agency, you deal with this kind of thing, so you know how to expedite, how to fill out the forms, how to help them fill out the forms.
True.
And possibly help make it a little smoother.
We will make it convenient for them. That's for sure. because sometimes small things will stress you out, and I have encountered that a lot. And I told him, okay, hey, just stay put, just let us do our job. Be as honest as possible when we talk to you, because that is where we know how to maneuver things for you, for your situation to be resolved.
Okay. Very good. Why don't we jump over to real estate?
Sure.
You're a broker and appraiser. You list properties. You help sell them. You've got 2 lawyers on your staff. We were talking a little earlier about titles, and that's more. There at this point in time, there is no title insurance in the Philippines. Maybe in the future.
Maybe. Maybe when AI is coming. Yeah, that's also a good point in which we actually discussed that earlier today, because most of the common norms here in the Philippines, especially for the pre-construction developments, they don't have title yet. Now, if you actually buy it, or what we say here, brokerage, meaning it's already pre-owned, someone already owned that property. Let's just say, for example, where most of your subscribers right now are actually foreigners. I don't know the analytics, but let's assume that it's the case. Now, you have the option to buy a condo. Now, when you buy a condo, the first thing that you need to take a look at right now, or look for, is the title. It's what we call here CCT. It's Condominium Certificate of Title. So that entails the condominium title, because there's also one type of title that I'm gonna mention later on. I'm gonna mention, and there's also another title which is named TCT. That's Transfer Certificate of Title, which is a title on the land. So CCT is for the condominium unit or apartment, shall we say on a Western term, and TCT is the title of the land, wherein foreigners are restricted in terms of owning the land. However, for those who are on spousal visa and they have happily married their and they have the and they are married to a Filipina, they can actually name it in a Filipina, and the improvement will be named under the foreigner. Now, why you need to take a look at that? Because that's one way of, that's the ultimate proof of ownership of the property, of a property here in the Philippines. Without that, that's an initial red flag. So when there's a red flag, you need to check on it. Because why? Not necessarily that you will actually get, when someone's selling to you, you're not getting the original copy, but get a copy, and the next step is you should get a certified true copy to the latest, so that you would know what is the current situation of that particular property. Has it been annotated? Is there a lien on that? Is there encumbrances of that? That will now be reflective on the certified true copy of the CCT, because there are only 2 copies of that. The one that is maintained in the registry, land registry, and then second is the owner's copy, owner's duplicate copy. There are only 2. And mind you, don't ever lose the title, because the reissuance of the title will entail you to file it in courts here in the Philippines. It's not just easy that affidavit of loss, have it notarized by an attorney. It's not that easy. You need to go through the paperwork and file a petition in any legal courts here in the Philippines before the court will actually give you an order for the reissuance of the title. So losing a title in the Philippines is a headache. Second, not only the title, you need to take a look at also the tax declaration. A tax declaration is a supporting ownership document, not the ultimate one, because it is issued for taxation purposes, for the real property tax. The real property tax is a tax being levied or collected from the property itself. Let us say condominium, 200 square meters or 2,000 square foot condominium unit. It should have a title, it should have a tax declaration. Now let us say how you compute the real property tax. It's not that much. Normally on the range of the residential side, it will take, like, there would be a fair market value. Let's just say the fair market value of that particular property would be around, just for the sake of example, 1 million pesos. And then there is an assessed value of that, a certain percentage, roughly between 20 to 30%, let's just say 20%. So 20% of 1 million, that's 200,000. That's the assessed value. And then it would differ on a location basis or the type of city. In Cebu City, for example, I think it's ranging between 3 to 4%. So 3 to 4% of the assessed value, which is 200,000, not the 1 million.
Right.
So that's how it will be computed. Now, that you need to take a look at also. You can also get a certified true copy, because there are people right now buying properties and they have been promised that, hey, it's okay not to buy a property without a title. Big no. Don't push through. Think twice. If they say that it's still named on the developer side, especially for the pre-construction, ask a copy, because you might not have that in the next 3 to 4 years. Imagine one building with different units, 500 to 700 units. It will take them probably after turnover 2 to 3 years, roughly. It's acceptable here. And if your risk appetite is a little bit high in terms of tolerance, then the next conveyance of the ownership of that particular subject property would be the deed of absolute sale. But then again, the ultimate proof of a certain property here in the Philippines, especially apartment or condominium, is the title. You should have that. That's non-negotiable. So you need to check, because if there will be lien and encumbrances along the way, better think twice. Ask someone who knows it, and then, hey, what do you think about it?
And we both know somebody here who had that issue. He bought property from a foreigner who had bought the property, and took him several years to finally get the title, I think.
Yeah, we know that guy.
So, yeah, do your homework. Talk to a real estate lawyer. Talk to JR. Talk to a broker.
Yeah.
And know what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm not yet. I am not a real estate lawyer for the time being, but I am a licensed real estate broker. For the appraiser side, I just wanted to be honest. I have not practiced it really in depth, but I actually got that license because I just wanted to bring in more value in doing the real estate transactions. Because sometimes people would ask there, is this price reasonable? Is the asking price? Then that is where we go in. I can do table appraisal, but for the appraisal report, I'm not doing that currently. However, in terms of guiding you in purchasing your property, let me know. And our structure might not be that ready yet, but I'll be handling personally your case on that matter. And we have successful acquisitions already along the way. So we will represent you. That we will guarantee to you.
Okay. And you are ready to take on additional bookings if somebody wants to sell their property,
Yeah.
and or if they want to use you to help find a property in a certain area.
Yes.
You're able to
Yeah.
provide those services.
Yes, correct. What we normally do for the time being, we may not have the property that you're looking for. However, we'll not box you into our place, because for us to keep you know. We will actually advise you to take a look at around, and once you find something, you go back to us, and we will let you know what are the things that we need to do, and that is where we will be representing you. So sometimes I'll be the bearer of the bad news, because when I see something, I'll definitely say it straight to you, and it's up for you to decide. So the options already on the table. Grab it, leave it, and look for the next one, or probably grab it, and because you really like the property.
And you have on your website, grcconsulting.com, I think, you have a page with some of your listings, with some of your real estate listings. So you have information on your visas, information on your real estate information as well. And then if we want to move on to starting a business, there again, you've got two lawyers on staff, and you do some consulting with people starting businesses or renewing licenses, all that type of thing. If I understand.
Yeah. One of our lawyers is a good friend of mine, and he is also an accountant. What we do for now is we are extending our consulting services for those foreigners who intend to set up a business here. Like setting up a corporation, doing the business permit, and all related stuff. However, in terms of the bookkeeping on the day-to-day basis, we would highly encourage you to find really a good accountant. For the initial stage of starting it up, we can actually guide you on that matter. And along the way, you can contact us, hey, Jer, is it the right tax returns that is it the right paperwork that needs to be submitted on the all government agencies? That we can actually guide you on that matter.
Mm-hmm.
Because setting up a business here would entail your coordination with multiple government agencies. One is setting up the type of corporation, setting your corporation, one. The business permit. Prior getting the business permit, you need to get the fire permit, you need to get a sanitary permit, you need to have the barangay permit, you need to have also other permits related to that. You need to have also to register your business to Social Security. Those are the mandatory requirements of the Philippine government. Pag-ibig, the housing areas, and also the PhilHealth, which is the insurance areas for your employees. So it's a long way. However, if we're gonna chop it into pieces, we'll be here to guide you along the way. That is our task. But on a day-to-day basis, we would actually encourage you after we do the consulting of setting it up, so that you'll have really a person who's taking charge on your day-to-day operations.
Mm-hmm. Now, I read recently, I read an article that here a couple of years ago, there are certain businesses like BPOs,
Mm-hmm.
business processing outsourcing, I think can be 100% owned by a foreigner.
Mm-hmm.
And there are certain categories that can be owned by foreigners, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's a 60-40,
Mm-hmm.
right? 60% Filipinos have to be involved,
Mhm.
40% can be foreigners. But I've read the article that said they're going to try to expand that group categories of different businesses. Have you heard anything about that yet?
Wow, you have done a lot of your research.
Oh,
I just
wow.
salute you for that. What is currently happening right now, especially in the SEC, where they are the office that is actually registering corporation, it is constantly, and they are evolving fast. They have been putting in requirements, they have been improving on how they do things for the past 2 years. They have been also putting in improvements on the time being, so that they will actually make it more convenient to your to the people who wanted to do business here in the Philippines. So far, I have not dig deeper in that. What as I know, I think the OPC has been hyped for a time, the one-person corporation, but it does not mean that it's a full ownership already with a foreigner, because it would actually depend on the type of industry where you're in, as what we have discussed with our accountant and attorney earlier today. So it's better to lay things out. Let's do a consultation, lay everything out, and then we will actually take the step moving forward from there, because we should know what are your plans, what do you need to happen, and we will start from there. We cannot actually give you a general plan, because that might be superficial, that might be subjective on our opinion. It should be objective right now, objectively speaking, and once we analyze things which will be beneficial for you or for your subscribers who are planning to set up a business here in the Philippines.
Okay. And I will put links to your website, to your Facebook page, and to your YouTube channel. I'll put those links in the description of this video. So anyway, we covered quite a bit. Is there anything else you would like to add?
Nothing so far, and I would like to thank your subscribers and for being with us for the past, I think, more than 3 years already. And I think I hope that we have given you the basic information that you should need during your stay here in the Philippines. And of course, guys, please do, for those who are actually viewing this video, I humbly ask you to subscribe. It's for free. You're not actually required to pay anything. In one way also, we would like to support Rod also on his channel. So don't be afraid to subscribe. Subscribe on his channel, and we'll be happy to see this guy really soaring high, and he's actually doing well, and to help you out, guys. Thank you. And by the way, we have streamlined our offices. Our offices are on 3 branches right now, 3 locations. Our main office is still in Cebu. We have our Dumaguete office and we have our Manila office. So we have streamlined our process to make our services be better. And for those of you who have some feedback, and we would appreciate if you can actually give it to us so that we can actually improve our services moving and beyond compare to be better.
All right, very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
All right.